Respected teachers and my dear friends, I am here to present a paper entitled Time Poverty Among Women in Kerala, a study on unpaid work. The paper was jointly prepared by Dr. Prasad AK and Anjana BS. Kerala is a state that displays excellent social indicators comparable to developed countries. Women outperform their male counterparts in health, education, and many development indicators. But in case of work participation, the outcome is not favorable to women. The statistics depict a dismal picture of low female work participation rate. However, these figures do not mean that females are not working in the economy. Since market is believed to be the hub of productive work, some important work gets invisible or underestimated in the statistics. The activity classification of NSSO exclude persons doing works under codes 92 and 93, even though those works are significant. So a large part of missing labor is missing only from statistics, but is very much there in the labor force. The main characteristics of this invisible work are it is not directly paid or unremunerated. So the unpaid work is the work which does not receive direct remuneration like cooking, cleaning, caring, etc. And very often it is women who do this kind of work and bear most of the burden. This domestic task, perceived as their primary responsibility, is associated to the social construction of gender and the dominance of patriarchal values. Also, the unpaid work generates surplus value, which contribute to the current consumption and future well-being of the society. But this unpaid daily task of women consumes a substantial amount of time, which puts ceiling on the time that can be devoted for their personal care and development or their capability building. But the economic theories in the past failed to recognize unpaid work as a part of the mainstream economy, and it remains hidden socially and in public policy. Since unpaid work is predominantly done by women, neglecting to include it underestimate women's contribution to the economy, which is a reflection of male bias into macroeconomics. My study results tend to reinforce the conservative perception that women have been responsible for unpaid work. The time spent on paid activities is found to be higher for men, and the burden of unpaid work restrains women's time, which is meant for personal care and development. And this personal care and development is necessary for healthy life and individuals' well-being. While men get about 14 hours per day for personal enhancement, women get only about 10 hours per day. Thus, women sacrifices time for their personal development for other household members, and there seems to be free riding on unpaid labor provided by women. These are the photographs of some of my respondents which were engaged in paid activity. And with respect to unpaid activities, a large percentage of participant female respondents were engaged in enterprise or farms run by their spouse or father without any economic compensation. Also, female bear the greatest burden of housework and caring. It ranges between 6 to 7 hours per day. On the whole, women spend about 5 times more in unpaid activities compared to men. There are hierarchies in the domestic activities like routine cooking, cleaning bathrooms, etc., are never done by male respondents. Thus, not only are women more involved in unpaid activities, also the kind of activities in which they engage differs from their male counterparts. Uh, from this table, we can understand that higher level of female education does not guarantee shorter work time on household activities, especially after her marriage. Such a result is quite obvious because females are taught from childhood that the welfare and happiness of a family depends upon the performance of domestic duties by women. So these structures should not be shaken or ignored. Similarly, entering into paid labor market do not reduce working hours of females on household and caring activities. Thus, doing household activities is a must for women, and full time or part time job does not reduce such burden significantly. Indeed, women continue to struggle with the second shift impact, in which they come home from a long day at work and take on unpaid labor of housework and childcare. Thus, women accepting a job had to make a trade off between time poverty and monetary poverty. But the double burden on women is often not addressed. It is also found that as household size increases, average time spent on unpaid work increases. However, it declines for households with six or more family members because domestic activities are shared by all female members of such family. The unpaid working time vary between age groups. The female between 15 to 25 age group spend considerably less time on unpaid activities, and this lower unpaid working time is compensated by longer hours of education, leisure, and sleep. The unpaid working time is rather similar for other age groups. In order to find whether the affluence of household makes any difference in the time devoted on unpaid activities, the relation between monthly family income and working hours on unpaid activity is examined. Women on lower income class and middle income class families have to do most of the unpaid activities irrespective of their education and employment status. Only women of higher income class families have the luxury of appointing full time or part time domestic workers, although they play the roles of supervisors within the household. So, patriarchy in contemporary Kerala is apparent in a generalized social commitment to women's domestic role. Participation in labor market and impressive levels of female education did not translate into reduction or sharing of unpaid work. Perception of male as the head of the household remains strongly entrenched in society, with women themselves internalizing patriarchal values. Females fail to recognize the gender inequality they continue to face due to existing social division of labor. Women have to realize and acknowledge their own agency as agents of development rather than as recipients of welfare measures. It is equally important as formal education. It is observed that women are themselves the carriers of age old patriarchal values. Generally, it is women who advise their girl child to behave softly or restrict boy child from doing household activities. So, enlightenment or self learning about their position in the society is necessary to bring a fair space for women in the society. Lack of one of these elements, education and enlightenment, will make it difficult to achieve the ends, empowerment and equality. To quote Harriet Tubman, I freed thousands of slaves. I could have freed thousands more if they had known they were slaves. Similar is the case of several women in our society. Thank you.